Hey, good morning. I wanted to spend a few minutes today talking about perfectionism. It is a great and powerful thing to be able to ascribe to doing things well, to improving and holding a high standard of how we engage our lives. There's a double-edged sword in that, though, in that once we start setting our goal for doing things perfectly, that it becomes a trap. Once you start to say, I want to do things better, the mindset becomes that you can always improve and that it could have been better. And that becomes a slippery slope going into it should have been better and you didn't do this right. And what's wrong with you for not getting this perfect? And that becomes a trap in that the driving force of always having to do things perfect becomes an unattainable goal. The idea of perfection and finding a finish line where things could not possibly get better becomes a trap. And we have in our lives this driving force that never gets met, and it ends up being an unattainable ideal that creates shame and guilt and unworthiness in our lives. In this, we come to think less of ourselves and less of those around us for not doing things perfectly, and that negativity becomes it negates the positive attribute of having high standards. So, as with all of the other things that we continue to evolve in, my challenge to you is to take some time to look inward and look at what is the driving force of why you do the things you do. If the standard of your ideals, of your vision is so high that the perfectionism of it is unattainable, please take a look at that and try and figure out where that comes from and why you want things to be perfect. And then also, what are the consequences of holding the standard that high? Please do not misunderstand that I'm saying that you should not hold a high standard. My request is that you do not hold it at a level of perfection, because that standard is unattainable. How do you react in the circumstances of trying to be perfect in the things that you do? And what are the negative consequences of that? Take some time this week. Look at where the standard is perfectionism. Look at the behaviors that you have developed in yourself to try and achieve that or avoid it. And what are the ways that you can start to step down from holding just a little bit lower, below perfectionism, of still holding that high standard? Are there goals in your life that could be met in a slightly less way where perfectionism is not engaged in that? And what would that goal look like? What would that vision be? Please continue with the self-observation. If you have questions or comments, please do not hesitate to make a comment below, send an email. My name is John Rhoads. I hope that you're able to continue to find meaning and purpose in your daily life.